And Rick both was. What do you guys think as we get ready now? We've got this game coming up. This is gonna be the biggest USC Oregon State game we've had since probably Denny Erickson. Can we do it?
Anytime you go up to Corvallis, it's scary. Seeing the fact that they do very well is what we do not so well. They better fix those run fits. That's all I'm gonna say. If we give gaps to this team, I don't know anyone was there. I know Rick was there. I was in the Coliseum last year, and it was brutal. It was brutal what they did to that defense. Now I know we've made just personnel wise, we've made a lot of improvements, but Jonathan Smith's no joke. The guy would, with no disrespect to our fellow Oregon State fans out there, he wouldn't be there right now. He would be the hot name, I guarantee you, as coaching searches. He is a former Oregon State Beaver quarterback, so I think that until the NFL comes knocking on the door, that he might be safe for the Bees. But we're gonna go up there, and I think they're gonna give USC everything they can handle. Especially again, if we can't sort out our run defense, it's gonna be a shootout. You know, and what we've done now 2 games in a row is we get inside the 10-yard line. Who knows this pattern? And then we've had 2 offensive pass interferences in different ways, right? Last week was a push off. This week was our receiver got past the line of scrimmage, and we've got guys outside blocking, and they threw the ball to him. We got another offensive pass interference, and that drops us back 15 yards. That's a huge penalty to get inside your 10 as you're going in to score. And those kind of big mistakes are painful. I think that we saw that Caleb Williams was having a little bit of an issue deciphering and making quick decisions when they were dropping 8. I know that the Oklahoma fans loved to say that last year. Last year, he was a freshman playing, 5 games or whatever, 6 games. This year's a different story. He had trouble when they were rushing 3 and dropping 8 on a couple of times. But I also did notice they backed off it because we made some adjustments. We did make some plays. But I don't know, Rick. What are you thinking about as far as us matching up with the Beaver defense?
And by the way, real quick, I love HR Picking Stuff's comment. Win forever. This offense looks like Norm Chow and Mike Leach put in the game plan.
I'll take it. Go ahead. I like it. It also looks like we have Lane Kiffin and Sarkisian. I mean, I like those offenses together. But you're right. The Mike Leach part of it, maybe Mike Leach and Kiffin have a brainchild, and that's what this offense looked like.
I feel fine about going into the game next week, and here's why. Are we going to give up some run gashes? Yes. Are they going to score rushing touchdowns? Yes. Are we going to make some big stops? Absolutely. Do I have faith in this coaching staff? Yeah. And take a look at the opportunity that we had having game film, watching Fresno State and Oregon State. I have a funny suspicion that this coaching staff has been preparing a game plan for Oregon State for the past 2 weeks. And that's just I don't have any information. That's just my thought process. Lincoln Riley's a G. He's a guru. And so he's already putting together a plan for Oregon State. And he kind of laid out some of the plan today. You're going to have to stop the run and the pass, Oregon State. So go ahead tonight, put your head on the pillow and figure that one out, okay? Because we got ballers that are coming up here. I love Chance Nolan. He's a great workman-like quarterback, like a Jonathan Smith. But go ahead and step it up. Look at Jake Haener. Jake Haener couldn't hang in the first half. He had the ball all of, I think, 3 minutes in the first quarter. So that's basically the recipe for Oregon State. Go ahead, Chance Nolan. See if you can beat us with your arm in maybe the 4 minutes you're going to have the ball. They've got to stop the run.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, again, I think the strength of this team right now is that offensive line playing out of their minds. And I hope we can keep everybody healthy. We're about 6 deep on the line, and then we start going into some other class that maybe need a little more time. But right now, the way we're running the ball, I feel really confident. Rick, you pointed out the fact that the time of possession was heavily in USC's favor in that game. And if you look at the numbers, USC was like in the top 5 in yards per play going into this game, but it really looked like we had a different game plan. It's almost like they wanted to keep the ball out of Hayner's hands and just kind of drag this game. I mean, score, and then they're very more methodical. There were a couple deep shots they took in the game, but a lot of the plays were shorter than we've seen for the previous 2 games.
Absolutely.
Tim, go ahead, Rick. And then we got another visitor. Oh no,
I want to go a little. I'm going to go a little literature on you guys. I want to go ahead and I want to give you a quote, and this is from Paulo Coelho. He's a Brazilian author who's known for the book The Alchemist from the 80s. And this is basically as it relates to USC taking away the ball. 10 balls in 3 weeks from 3 different opponents. And basically the quote is, everything that happens once can never happen again. But everything that happens twice will surely happen a third time. And what happened a third time? USC forced 2 turnovers and didn't turn the ball over. So there you go.
Well,
Yeah, there's no perfect.
I think we had Eric likes your literature, and I think we had the first Jake Hayner interception of his year this year too. There's a little bit of an asterisk there, but
so basically it's not a fluke. Okay, it's happened 3 times. You could say, well, they got lucky in this. It was the end of the first half. No, he threw the ball. You could have batted it down. No, we got it. And there was a sack. Hayner went down, fumbled the ball. But again, that was for Fresno State, who did not turn the ball at all in the first 2 games. So we're going to go up to Oregon State, and I know they're a very difficult team to play up there. We know that. But don't be surprised if USC doesn't force any turnovers there. And Chase Nolan's going to be running for his life as well.
For sure. We've got another visitor. Let's welcome Michael real quick. Michael, welcome to USC Postgame Live. What do you want to chat about?
Not much. I was going to say, was this by far, you think, Caleb's best game, even when he was in Oklahoma tonight against Fresno State? Because it looked like for a while there, he was like in his complete zone. And if I'm not mistaken, at one point when I was reading something about it, didn't he complete like 10 or 11 straight passes in a row? And one of them ended up in a touchdown?
Michael, did you watch him go into that game at Texas at the Red River Shootout rivalry last year?
Yeah, bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, and actually, I think as far as just throwing it, I know that it was a different opponent, but I'm just talking about the quality of throws and being on the mark. The Rice game to me was where every throw he threw was a dime. Like every throw. Last week everything looked really good except for 2 weird plays on that fade on the right side. But this game, I mean, listen, we're being hypercritical here. He had a great game, but he also missed some throws today that, even on one early in the game, there was a throw to Brendan Rice just on the flat. And Brendan Rice had to come back about 2 yards and reach down by his ankles to grab it. Usually Williams is hitting the receiver, throwing him to where he could lead him. So I think he was a little bit off, but again, I'm being super critical in my opinion.
Yeah, not bad.
You got to credit Fresno State for getting Caleb Williams off the mark. He was running, and a lot of times, and this is where I was being critical, he was scrambling and he was not leaving the pocket quick enough, and he got sacked a couple times. So he was holding on the ball and looking for a receiver rather than pulling it down and running. There's a couple times where he just needed to go, and he didn't go, and he took a couple sacks. And also, like what Tim said, he was off the mark. They were forcing him off the mark. He made a couple bad throws, but he's going to work. He's going to recognize that and address the pressure, better next time in the future.
Yeah. 2 of those sacks, though, to be fair, was when Haskins, I believe, was out of the game. And then also, this is the first team that really went heavy with rush 3, drop 8, which again, we have those safeties deep like they had a lot of that game. It's hard to pick up some of those longer throws. I think that's why we were seeing a lot of the more underneath stuff, taking what he can get. I'm have to watch the game. There was a lot of drinking, a lot of talking, a lot of during the game when I was there today. But
how good was it to be back?
But in general, I got that vibe. You know, I got that vibe that they were taking away the long ball, and he had a couple opportunities. He had one, I think, down a fade down the right hand side. They're going towards the close end of the Coliseum that he just threw out of bounds. Now, although there was a beautiful back shoulder, I think it was at the Mario Williams, that was just picture perfect in the same spot. So again, I am being completely hypercritical of an amazing quarterback who, again, most quarterbacks out there would be more than happy with what Caleb Williams did tonight. You know, going see what were his numbers? I don't have
25 or 37 for 284 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, you know, most of the country is going to take that. But is that one of his best games with those stats? I would have to say no.
No, I'm just going because I thought for himself there was a couple of throws that he had that was like right on the money and stuff like that. But I will ask you this though, because I know it's like the USC